Hello everyone, this is Jig, and welcome to a super special edition of Buy Request Friday. Obviously you can see my face, and these diamonds, and these torches, and this pickaxe. A long time ago, somewhere between 100 and 150 subscribers, I made a video about me making these things, and it's got 60,000+ views right now, and the most requested thing on that is for me to make a tutorial. So here is that tutorial. It's long, it's boring, it's pretty self-explanatory to be honest, but a lot of people wanted it, so here it is. First thing you're going to want to do is go to www.minecraftwiki.net and then scroll down to the image that you want. So we're going to go to crafting recipes, and let's say we want some redstone dust. So we're just going to scroll down till we find it, and redstone dust, of course you could search for it if you wanted, but we're just going to click that, and basically we're going to keep clicking until we get to the image by itself. So here we are at the image by itself. We're going to save this, save image as, save it wherever you like. I'm going to save it here because I've already actually got it saved. So we'll save it again. Yes, I want to replace, and now we have it there. Then you want to open it in your favorite image editor. I'm going to use Microsoft Paint. When you open it up, you can see all this black stuff around the side. We want to get rid of that. So choose white and just fill it in with the fill tool. Then we're going to see how big that is. So we go to print preview, and it looks kind of small right now, which is not very good. So we want to make it bigger. So image, resize, and let's say we want it 3 times as big. So type 300 into both horizontal and vertical. Makes it bigger, keeps the square nice and good looking, the squares on the sides. Print preview, and that's about as big as we want. So then you just print it. Then we get to the next part, attaching it to cardboard. Okay, here we have our printout of our redstone and a crappy piece of cardboard. Now the first thing you want to do is get some glue. Any cheap garbage glue is fine for our cheap garbage constructions, and you put as much glue on to cover the back of the thing that you're making. Now you want to make sure that you're doing all the way to the edges so the corners stick down. Once that's done, you stick it to the cardboard, and you can have a look in the back, make sure it's all covered, and you stick it down. Now normally you'd let this dry, but I can't be bothered waiting, and really it doesn't really matter. And then you cut it. Now kids, make sure you ask an adult to help you with this part, because these is dangerous. At this point you can use a knife or scissors or whatever. You cut out each square. Now you want to make it nice and clean, so that the angles are preserved. Okay, once you've cut the whole border out, it's just as simple as popping it out. As long as you cut all the way through, and that's why I have a piece of cardboard underneath. If you don't have this cardboard underneath, you're going to wreck whatever table or whatever you have underneath, and that would suck. So you just push out the design, and ta-da! My very own piece of redstone. Obviously you can color the back in black, or put a black sheet of paper on the back or something like that, or even put the same colored design on the front, but cool. Now we go to the next one. Now with this next one, you're going to do pretty much the same as the smaller item, but you're going to choose a bigger one. So let's scroll down and look for, what tool do we want to do? Let's say the shovel. So we're going to get a shovel. Now we have to use actually one of these smaller ones, because if you click on this, you're only going to get the wood shovel because it's an animated GIF. So we're going to choose the iron shovel, save image as. Looks like we've already got one here. Convenient. Yes, we're going to replace that one, and then we're going to go to the folder with that shovel. Right, so here's our shovel. Gonna open it in our favorite image editor and clean it up like before. Use the fill, surround it with white, and now we want to make it bigger because that's really small. So let's go 500%. Now the problem I've noticed with paint is it comes up with a little bit of artifacts. So that's easy enough to fix. We're going to pick the eyedropper, and that just happens because it's a really small image. And you press the eyedropper on the color that you want. We want that one, and we're just going to fill in these little bits. And for the other ones, the other one is just white. So we'll just select white and we'll get rid of these here. This just cleans it up a bit so that when we enlarge it another time, it won't happen again. Because right now, if we have a look how big it is, it's still extremely small. No jokes. No, this is a serious tutorial. So we're going to go 500% again. How big is it now? Oh, it looks like it spans 2 pieces of paper. So it's going to be a smaller shovel, but it'll be a shovel nonetheless. So let's print that, and then we get to the next step. Obviously you can make this as big or as small as you want, and then it all depends on how much cardboard you have and how much you want to stick on it. Now because this one is bigger than 1 sheet of paper, we have to stick them together somehow. So to do that, we're just going to cut out the parts where they're going to stick together. So it's going to join for the shovel right on the handle here, and you just want to cut straight up from there. So that way when we stick these together, it'll look good. Now I'm going to get rid of some of this excess paper just because it'll get annoying. Now what we have is our 2 separate pieces of shovel, and we can just stick this on. Jeez, I'm running out of room here. Stick these on like that. Now you just have to line it up and make it the way you want it. So we're gonna have it like that. Of course, we're just gonna use the same method as before. Make sure there's plenty of glue on the back and that it's on all the corners. So when you glue this down, when you're cutting it up afterwards, I mean, it's not going to lift off. So just line it up, stick it down 1 piece at a time. Now here's our second piece. Now you just want to line the big squares up, like so. And there's the shovel. Then we're pretty much going to do exactly the same thing we did before and cut it out. And that's how you make the bigger stuff. It's pretty much exactly the same as before, except now you have to stick 2 sheets of paper together. It's a little more complex. So let's cut this out, I guess. Looks like we're missing just a tiny bit now. And there we go, our own mini shovel, so we can go digging up redstone. not really. Everybody knows we need a pick to dig up redstone. Oh, lame joke. And the next part, the helmet, is pretty much exactly the same as the last two parts, except you have to do a little bit more. So let's do that now. Okay, for the head, you can't just look on the Minecraft wiki. We're going to have to search for the skin texture. So we're going to search for Minecraft Steve skin. And second one down is at planetminecraft.com. And here's the skin. So you just download the skin, and it will download straight into your folder. And this website, as I said, automatically downloads it straight into there. So let's open this up. This one's a little more complicated. We're going to open it up with paint, and you can see here it's made up of lots of tiny little parts. Now, the parts that we want is all of these ones here, and that's as far zoomed in as we're going to get. So let's resize this and make it a little bigger first. We'll go 300 by 300, and it's still pretty small, but that will have to do. Now, like I said, this section here is the ones that we want, so we want to print only these parts. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do that. I'm going to just resize the whole thing so it's only that, like that, and each of these squares, so like that and above, and then this one and above, is for a different side of the face. So you can either just print this whole thing out, or you can print them one at a time, or whatever you want. And you just have to make them the right size so that they can go onto a box that can fit on your head. Now I'm just going to make a little one because I've already got a Steve head and I don't need to make another one. So I'm going to make this a little bigger, but it's still going to be a little mini Steve head that I can do something with. I don't know. So let's have a look at the print preview. That's going to be a really small Steve head. We need it a little bigger than that. Let's go another 300. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, and then you print that out, and then you stick it to some cardboard, and let's see how that goes. And here we are with the final part. Obviously this is not going to fit you, and is a little smaller than an actual mask design, but the principle stays exactly the same. You're just going to print it bigger and on more pieces of box. So you just got to glue the back as before. And you can see I'm gluing a little bit on the inside here, and that's because one of these squares is actually the bottom. We don't need that because we need a hole to put our head or the head of something in it. So once you've glued it, you stick it to the cardboard. And then you cut it, just like before. I don't know if you've noticed, but these are pretty simple to make. And to be honest, I'm a little surprised that people wanted tutorials on how to get it. I guess it was mainly more about getting the images rather than the actual creating it itself. Because it's not that hard to make these, but here it is, and I'm hoping you're enjoying it, because I did make it. It's for you after all. Now when you're actually making the mask, you might want to leave this part on and only cut out the area that you need to stick your head in. But obviously we don't need that, and you can use the principles applied in the last one with the really big image. You don't have to be able to fit it all on one sheet. Just cut it out and stick it together as needed. think that's it. Yeah, we can see we cut it all out. Okay, here is the basic head, and then you just fold it. So there's Steve's face. This one here is the top. Just gonna fold that back. And here is the back, and you just fold that back across there. Now because this is so small, it's kind of hard to stick it together like this, so I'm just gonna put some tape on the outside. It's not really that important, just for demonstration purposes. Like that. Like that. That'll do, right? And look, there's our little Steve mask. Now you can get something, and we'll put this on Luigi here. Now we have Mario and the gang with Steve. Hello, it's me. I have no idea what Steve sounds like, but yeah, there you go. And those are the tutorials. Thank you for watching this special BRFSE Friday, and I hope you learnt a thing or two about crafting. We've now got a shovel, redstone, and a Steve hat. Yay! Thanks for watching. Bye.